Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am going to introduce you in one of the playlists wherein I will help you to understand the importance of the cloud computing, the introduction to the cloud computing. Why did we needed cloud computing? So to begin with, I hope that you all know that we previously in the older times we were using the on-premises environment. So on-premises is nothing but everything was physically available. So it's like if I talk about the on-premises computing, it gives you the full control for your environment. Okay, high cost. Okay, there were no flexibility, no scalability. Okay, and if you talk about the IT management, so you had to align someone dedicatedly for the IT, and its maintenance was also with us. So everything that we were doing on premises was maintained and everything was managed by us physically. So it was very difficult to manage when it comes to scalability, flexibility. So I'll give you an example. Let's suppose if your one of the server goes down or your data center goes down where you have multiple servers. So what happened in that case? You will not be able to restore your data. You will not be able to recover your data easily. For that, you have to set up the backup data center. And again, for setting up the backup data center, you again have to invest a lot. So if we talk about on premises, so two words or you can say two factors you will read or you will learn every time, which is OPEX and CAPEX. So it is nothing but the operational cost and your CAPEX is your Okay, so operational cost and your capital investment that you'll be doing in setting up your on-premises servers. Also, let's suppose you have installed or you have deployed one of your websites in the servers that are placed in on-premises and you have set up the number of users as 100 users. And what if when there will be some kind of Diwali festivals wherein you will see that by seeing number of discounts and percentage sale, the users are increased. For those increased user, you have to definitely scale your resources, and for scaling resources you again have to manage multiple resources. You have to provide flexibility to those resources. Okay, so now your problem resolved when it is a festive time. What will happen when the festive will get over? So that particular resources that you have set up for 6 users will get underutilized. So avoid all these things. We came to know that we can use cloud computing. So before cloud computing, we had to invest heavily on servers, infrastructure, maintenance. So we had this particular means high upfront cost, scalability challenge, and very slow data recovery. So what does cloud computing does? So if I talk about cloud computing, so cloud computing helped us in accessing all the computing resources and the services wherein we can use them all over the internet. So by using them on the internet, so everything we got on the internet. Okay, for computing everything on internet. Okay, so what are the computing services? If I talk about computing services, so it's nothing but you can say the computing services like servers, like databases. So servers, storage, database, and networking, your software, everything on the internet. So this brings us a faster innovation, flexible resources, and very cost efficient. So when we talk about why cloud computing, so we already got the answer of why we are using cloud computing, because it helps to reduce the cost, right? It helps you to offer the scalability. Okay, so we are getting cost management, scalability, and it also improves your data recovery, which I already gave you an example earlier. What happened if something happened or disaster happened in your data center? So at least you will have a backup available over the internet. Okay, so which is very faster and more reliable. Okay, so in short, cloud computing is empowering our business to focus on growth instead of worrying about infrastructure and maintaining them. So, guys, I have prepared this Excel wherein you'll be able to see the difference between the on-premises and clouds, and I have included the features that you're getting in cloud computing. I'll be placing this Excel so that you can go through this Excel in the description box. You can check from there. Okay. So I've already informed you about the control, cost, scalability, security, accessibility, maintenance, and flexibility when it comes to on-premises and cloud. So you will have a major role of cloud computing in coming days, and it is already booming. You all know about it. Okay. So let's begin with the types of cloud computing that we are having these days. So we only have two types of main model. Okay, let me clear this out for you. Okay, so we have two types of cloud computing. Okay, so the very first model is the service model, and the other model is the deployment model. Okay, slowly we'll talk about both the models. So first we'll begin with the service model. The details about the service model and the deployment model you'll be able to learn in my different and separate playlist, where I'll be including the details of these models. Okay, so if I talk about service model, the very first model comes IaaS. The second model is PaaS, and the third model is SaaS. So I'll just explain in a very brief here what IaaS stands for. So if I talk about IaaS nothing but your virtual machines, your virtual servers, okay, machines that we will deploy in the Azure, and it will be maintained by the Azure. The maintenance will be done by the Azure. Okay. So when we talk about PaaS services, it provides you ready to use environments for application deployment. Okay. Okay. So if I talk about PaaS services, so what it does, it gives you the complete ready-made environment where you can deploy your applications. You don't have to build the environment. You don't have to manage the environment. You don't have to start from the scratch. You can just write your code, put in the code in your PaaS service, and you can execute it however you want to execute. That also we are going to learn in a separate playlist. Okay. So the third one that we are going to talk about, the SaaS. What it does, it provides you the complete software. Okay. Okay. Over the internet. So if I talk about your email services, your Gmail, it's a kind of SaaS service because it is providing you the complete software application which is available on the internet, and you can directly use your mails, you can send mails, and you can do whatever you want. So it's a complete thing. You don't have to do anything on that particular software, right? So it's readily available. So similarly, we have certain kinds of SaaS services that we will go through in a later playlist. You'll be able to learn what those services are that are readily available. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the deployment model in a very short. So when it comes to deployment model, we have three models, which is public cloud, private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. Okay. So I'm giving you a brief about all these three clouds here so that you can have a brief overview. So when it comes to public cloud, it is kind of a shared resources to general public. Okay. So it's like a cloud that you can be sharing to a public. There it's less secure also, but it's public. It depends upon how your company infrastructure is, how your requirement is as per your company policy. Okay. So the second one is the private, which is dedicated resource for one organization. Okay. So if you have multiple organization and you want one particular tenant to be used or dedicatedly cloud to be used for your one organization, you can choose private one. Okay. So the third one, hybrid. So as the name is suggesting you guys, so it's a hybrid module wherein you can include both public and private. Okay. So it's like, let's suppose you have a multiple organization wherein you want to include some of the means you want to include both your cloud, like public and private, your hybrid cloud, then you can choose hybrid. Some of the organization will be using as a private way, which will be highly secured. You don't want anyone to use it without your permission. And the other one will be public for all the rest of the users, so that it can be publicly used. So like that, you can use the hybrid cloud. Okay, so it's a mix of both. Okay, so I hope this playlist was helpful for you. This was just an overview of cloud computing. In the next playlist, I will tell you what is Azure, why do we need Azure. I will tell you in a very layman language, so that you can start from scratch, you can understand. I will not go to very high level. I will start like this only, that I have shared right now with you, so that you can understand, you can learn, you can do practical, you can come up with your queries and questions. You are most welcome. Thank you for watching.